What's up, guys? It's me, TXC Bands, and One Piece is back. And that means I'm back with another video. And today we're covering chapter 1087. The chapter title is Battleship Bags because of what happens in this chapter regarding Garp and his training routine. You'll see coming up. So, yeah, Oda's back after his long break. It's come to an end. And that means my break from YouTube is over also. The chapter did not do what I predicted last time, go back to the Straw Hats. We actually returned to Hachinosu, the pirate island, with Garp storyline. And we learn a lot of interesting things about Garp this chapter, especially like his relationship to Kuzan. And without further ado, let's get into the video. Like and subscribe to help out, and let's jump into the chapter. So on the cover page, like we always begin with, we see another fan request. It's Ace, and he's chilling with a bunch of capybaras. Like he's lighting their bathtubs with fire, so they have a nice bath. And he's even lighting one of the capybara's cigar that's in his mouth. Now, to begin the actual chapter, we head to G1, the military base, which was formerly Marineford, and we see Branu. He's the guy who he usually is like talking about the bounty posters whenever we see him, but he's there and he's with Full Body and Django, those guys way back from the beginning of One Piece, if you remember. And so we see some battleships, and there are huge chunks taken out of them. Then, Branu, he describes why they're like this, and it's because it was part of Garp's training regiment. Every day, he would punch these ships. And, well, there are two ships there, actually, and that's because one of them's Garp's, and one of them is Kuzan, because Kuzan once trained under Garp. But it's crazy because they're ginormous battleships, and Garp is strong enough to punch them. And what's even crazier is that there was a rule that he explains that there are no haki or devil fruits allowed. So all of this power came from just their power alone. Now we cut away from G1 and we head to the pirate island where we see San Juan Wolf getting sent flying into the ocean by Garp. We don't actually see Garp punch him, but we can assume that it was like a nasty uppercut that sent him like a mile away. And then Vasco Shot, he shoots fireballs at Garp, which, it's funny, Garp, he uses some random Blackbeard pirates, some like random residents of Hachinosu, and he used them as human meat shields to block the fire from getting to him, which is kind of funny. And so Pizarro, who is in the skull, using the skull to talk, he's actually scared because of how heavily damaged the island is getting. Blackbeard is going to be pissed off when he gets back. All the other, like, random Blackbeard pirates, the weak ones, they also realize this, and they're getting scared too. Now, from the marine ship that's on the side of the island, Kujaku, she starts talking, and she announces to Garp that they will be leaving. The evacuation ship will be leaving with all the people that they saved. Garp hears this news, and he tells Kobe, Prince Groose, and Helmeppo that they gotta finish up real soon, or they'll miss their way out. But then Kuzan, he emerges from the smoke, and he's not gonna let the four of them go without a fight. Kobe, Groose, and Helmeppo want to go, but Garp is still like willing to fight Kuzan. So Garp just tells them to go ahead without him while he stays back and fights. But as Kobe runs away, he hears a hostage, a woman screaming. And of course, Kobe, being the upstanding hero of the Marines, he goes to help her, but it was actually a pirate woman working with the Hachinosu pirates, and it was a fake the whole time. It was actually a trap to let Shiryu sneak up on them. With no other option, Garp, he jumps in to save Kobe, taking the stab into himself. And the sword like pierces through Garp completely, like all the way through his body. And but Garp is a resilient guy, and that was like nothing for him. So he, while being stabbed with that sword, he uses the chance to smash Shiryu's head into the ground. Shiryu on the ground just punched is actually laughing though, because he actually got to injure the Marine hero Garp. And Garp says to the Marines, Kobe, Groose, and Helmeppo, that they have to just keep running. And he's just gonna stay back, even though he's probably hurting pretty bad at the moment. And a bunch of random pirates start running at Garp. When we get to learn that Garp has a cross guild bounty of 3 billion berries, which is 3 crowns on the poster. And so all these random pirates want to get this money, but Kuzan, he stops them because obviously they stand 0 chance against Garp. Kuzan actually does stand somewhat of a chance, and he's going to attack Garp instead. So now that Kuzan's here, we shift to a flashback from long ago when Kuzan initially asked Garp to teach him. So Garp originally doesn't want to be bound by a student because it will restrict his freedom. But Kuzan, he like keeps asking because he learned everything that he could possibly learn from the Marine instructors. And so then eventually Garp gives in and he brings him to the ship scrapyard to punch some ships. So we hear the progression of the blows in a couple panels. At first, Garp's blow is like a big bang, while Kuzan's is just a little pow. But by the end, their punches are about equal. And while they train, Garp even lets out like some of his like worries, like he's at therapy or something. He complains about how Dragon is a revolutionary, his son, and he complains about how his grandson Luffy is a pirate. Eventually, Garp becomes the one wanting to spend time with Kuzan, but Kuzan's the busy one now because he's an admiral. And Garp never wanted to take the admiral position all along. He stayed vice admiral for his whole life. On the evacuation ship with Kujaku, Hibari asks where Kobe is, but her conversation is cut short because Pizarro. So Pizarro, who's currently in the island, controlling it, using his devil fruit powers, he spawns a huge arm and it towers over the entire island and it's going to crush the ship. He blabs on about how the next day the news will talk about how the Marines and Garp failed to save Kobe and that like Avalo Pizarro is so strong and stuff. But Kobe from the ground sees all this happening and he's screaming that Pizarro stops because there's innocent people on that ship, the people that they rescued. Obviously, Pizarro isn't gonna hear Kobe anyway. But Garp interrupts from the ground. He tells Kobe not to lose his head because justice will prevail. Whether that means justice will prevail right now or later on, we don't know. So it looks bad for all the Marines at Hachinosu right now. They're in a dire situation. The ship might get destroyed, and then Garp is on the ground, like on death's door, essentially. But I don't think he'll die right now because Garp has the will of D, meaning he has to die with a smile on his face. And in that last panel, he did not have a smile on his face. Hopefully their situation can improve, but as it is right now, I see the Marines losing to the devastating power of the Blackbeard pirates on Hachinosu. And I don't think there will be a break next week because of how long of the break Oda just took. But nobody knows what the next chapter will hold. I keep guessing and I keep guessing wrong. It's been like dead ass months since we've seen the Straw Hats. So maybe we'll be back and maybe we won't. So like and subscribe if you made it to the end of the video, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.